So this might be one of my most controversial videos. This might ruffle some feathers. This video might get some people's knickers in a bunch. It might raise some hackles, but I think it needs to be asked. I'm curious to know if other countries are military worshipers of their troops. I know in America we just worship our police and military. My question is, why do we call police and military heroes? Why do we call them heroes? Hero, aren't you supposed to do something heroic? Something that's kind of selfless? Most police, no, I stand corrected, all police, military, they get paid to do what they do. They get a nice pension at the end of their career. They get a nice salary, weekly, monthly. How many of them would actually do what they're doing if they were not getting paid or compensated? What's heroic about writing tickets to people that are struggling, to mothers and fathers just trying to get from point A to point B, and you stop them because they're not wearing a seat belt and write them a $200 ticket? How is that heroic? What about arresting a mother, father, family, friend for possession of a green plant, cannabis? Especially in this day and age when we know all we do know about cannabis and its medicinal properties and how calming effect it has on people. Yet alcohol is completely legal. And look how destructive that is to society. Attempt to assert your right, attempt to assert your inalienable right to be free, unmolested, without police detaining you. Attempt to assert your right that you have a right not to have insurance or to be forced to buy into an insurance that you may not want or need. Tell a police officer that you have a right to travel, that you shouldn't have to ask permission from government to go from point A to point B. And then tell me how heroic he responds to you. Because in the 20 years that I've been serving in law enforcement, at no point have we been taught, trained to respect life, liberty, and property. We're taught that officer safety comes before all of those things. Officer safety trumps all of those things. Tell the officer you have a right to possess a harmless green plant. Tell me how heroic he responds. Because police are governed not by principles of life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, but by statute and precedent. And statute and precedent is many times, in modern times, is not compatible, is not in pursuance of the Constitution. So if you're not governed by those principles, those three basic principles, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, how are you behaving heroically? In the military, it goes same for the military. In 4 years I was in the military, we did not train, we did not do any training on the Constitution. You know, it was do as I say or you get punished. So yeah. What if, instead of the government taking our tax dollars, stealing our tax dollars, and making the military super soldiers, what if they took our money and trained us, we the people, to be able to defend ourselves? You know, that whole militia mentioned in the Constitution, maybe, I think the militia is mentioned 3 or 4 times in the Constitution. We are the militia. We the people, people that are ready to stand and fight for their state. But no, what has the media done? The media has made the militia, state militias, like, rednecks and, racist. No, 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 no. I met a lot of good people in my travels that consider themselves part of the militia, and they're really good people, people that recognize America needs people ready to defend their state. See, I call myself the penitent cop because I recognize the harm I've done over the last 15 years. Penitent because I'm sorry for the people I've incarcerated, sorry for the people I've written tickets to because I thought I was saving the world. No, at the end of the day, I was actually probably doing more harm than good. It's a beautiful day here in South Florida. It's probably about 80 degrees, 85 degrees as we walk through the park. Take a look at that. And let me say it again. I know police do a lot of good things. I mean, we respond to accidents. We respond to burglaries. We respond to violent crimes. We investigate violent crimes, rapes and murders and things like that. I get it. We do a lot of those things, and that's good. But let's not forget, your tax dollars are paying for that. Not being done for free. Why do we call the military heroes? When was the last time they actually saved us from our rights being violated every day, from sunup to sundown, from the same individual sending them off to war to die for not their country, but the government? Because I believe there's a big difference between dying for your country and dying for your government. Government benefits from war. They steal resources. They steal, they take lives for corporate gain so they can put up oil fields and things like that, build banks and set up the military. I get it. I'm a veteran myself, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying these things just to bash the military or the cops. I'm just saying, I think the whole thank you for your service is just another propaganda scheme to get our young men and women to want to enlist, to sacrifice their lives for a corrupt government that doesn't care about them once they're out of the military. So how is it heroic to invade a country and then kill those inhabitants? Why do we continue to say that's heroic? Sun feels good. Now I'm wondering how many heroes are out there are probably wishing harm on me. I'm wondering how many heroes right now are wishing harm on me because I'm not stroking their ego as being the savior of mankind, of the world. Sometimes the truth hurts. So to wrap up, don't get me wrong, I'm not just saying this to be mean-spirited. I'm just saying we need to rethink this whole idea of what we call heroes, or what is considered heroic. There's power in words, and when we use them inappropriately, then these words lose their power. They lose their true meaning. I'll see you next time.